One question that people are always asking me is, Dave, what is stab? And my response is always the same to these people. I say, well, it's either the violent act of piercing, thrusting, or wounding someone or something with a pointed object or weapon. Or it's the same type attack bonus the Pokemon gets in the core Pokemon games. And usually, only one of those things requires further explanation. So, let me take this time to explain to you exactly what stab is. Okay, so stab is an acronym that stands for Same Type Attack Bonus. At this point, you might be going, whoa, slow down there, bud, you already lost me. Well, don't worry, because now I'm going to break down everything that I just said. First of all, I called it an acronym. But what is an acronym? An acronym is an abbreviation formed from the initial letters of a multi-word phrase and pronounced as a single word. You see, the words in the English language are made up of a series of symbols we call letters, and those letters correlate to a specific mouth sound. And the order in which those letters are arranged determines how a word is spelled and pronounced. Piss! And whichever letter starts a word spelling is that word's first or initial letter. There are tons of acronyms that we use in our everyday life. For example, LOL is an acronym for Laugh Out Loud. WTF stands for What the Flaffy. And my favorite acronym is You were to coin was the what I stays between the fade the hide the me bailey. Which of course, as we all know, stands for
You were the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them! Bring balance to the Force, not leave it in darkness! I hate you! You were my brother, Anakin! I loved you!
But in this case, the acronym we're looking at, STAB, is an acronym for Same Type Attack Bonus. Some people will call it a boost instead of a bonus, and those people are idiots. Now that we understand what an acronym is, let's break down the STAB acronym. The first word in the STAB acronym is SAME. This is a word to describe when two or more things are identical. For example, if I were to hold up two pictures that are equivalents of each other, then you would describe those things as being the same. The second word in the STAB acronym is type. This one might be a little tricky because type actually has two meanings in the English language, but they are not the same. Type can either mean to type like on a keyboard, or type as in a classification of something. In this case, we're working with the latter. You see, Pokemon are separated into 18 different... The fuck is that? Stellar type? Pokemon are separated into 18 different types of Pokemon, and Pokemon within those types share similar characteristics. For example, since Geodude is a sentient rock with arms, Geodude is a rock-type Pokemon.
Hey Mr. Dave, aren't Pokemon moves also separated into 18 different types as well?
Shut the fuck up, youngster Joey, you're jumping way ahead of the program. Now before I was rudely interrupted by little punk with just a lowly rat-a-tata, I was going to teach you about the third word in the STAB acronym, attack, which is what I'm going to do to Joey if he interrupts me again. You see, the way the game of Pokemon is played is you, a child, go out into the wilderness by yourself and capture wild monsters we call Pokemon. You then force those Pokemon to fight other Pokemon against their will. And the way you do that is by using violent moves called attacks. Attacks like Flamethrower, Body Slam, and Guillotine. But don't worry, because the Pokemon are into it. And finally, the last word in the STAB acronym is bonus. A bonus is something in addition to what is expected or due. In today's world, a bonus usually refers to what a CEO gives themselves instead of paying their workers livable wages. In this instance, we're talking about the additional damage a Pokemon attack does if they are the same type. You see, now you can butt in, Joey. Don't want to? Yeah, I didn't think so. You see, it's not just the Pokemon that have types. The attacks do as well. So if a Pokemon of a certain type uses a move that is that same type, then that attack's damage is multiplied by 1.5. Still confused? Don't worry, because now we're going to witness Stab in effect. Here we have a Marowak, the best monotype Pokemon in the entire franchise. If you challenge me on that, I will attack you. Marowak is a ground-type Pokemon. Marowak is about to use his signature ground-type move, Bonerang. Typically, Bonerang has a base power of 100. But since Marowak is a ground-type Pokemon, and Bonerang is also a ground-type move, then that attack gets the same type attack bonus, meaning Bonerang now does 150 damage. But now let's take things a bit further. Some Pokemon have two types. So if we look at the best duo-type Pokemon in the entire franchise, Quagsire, don't you dare talk shit about Quagsire, you'll notice that Quagsire is both a ground and a water-type Pokemon. So if he uses either a ground or a water-type attack, then they would both get Stab. Would Marowak get stabbed if he used a water-type move? No, because he's not a water-type Pokemon, idiot. Now I hope you've been paying attention so far, because now it's time for a pop quiz. I will present you with a series of scenarios of Pokemon about to use an attack. You will then tell me whether or not the attack will receive Stab. Ready? Here we go. Scenario. Here we have an Umbreon about to use the move Pursuit. Will this be Stab? If you said yes, you are correct, because Umbreon and Pursuit are both dark types. Scenario. Maycargo somehow learned the move Crabhammer and is about to use it on his son. Will this be Stab? If you said no, but it is a little fucked up, you are correct, because Maycargo and Crabhammer do not share any typings. Scenario. A Jinx, which might be racist, is about to use the move Lovely Kiss. Is this Stab? If you said yes, then you fell for my trap, because not only are Jinx and Lovely Kiss not the same type, but Lovely Kiss is a non-damaging move. You see, not all moves in Pokemon are attacks. Some raise or lower stats, and some inflict status conditions like sleep. Stab has no effect on these moves whatsoever. Scenario. Scyther is about to use the move Swords Dance. Will this be Stab? If you said yes again, then I can see that you've clearly stopped paying attention and you just want to move on with your life. Well, too bad! Swords Dance is one of those non-damaging moves that I just mentioned that raises a stat instead of inflicting damage. Come on, pay attention. Scenario. A Pikachu is about to use the move Seismic Toss. Will this be Stab? See, that's another curveball, because even though Seismic Toss is a damaging move, it does a set amount of damage, meaning it does the same amount of damage regardless of any of the types on the field. Unless you're attacking a ghost type, but that's a topic for a completely different video. Scenario. Lapras is about to use the move Perish Song. Will this be Stab? If you said no, then that means that you're correct and that you've probably watched a lot of Kaizo Ironmon streams. Go outside, nerd. Scenario. A Ditto is about to use the move Fissure somehow. Will this be Stab? If you said no, you are correct. Some attacks are one-hit knockout moves, meaning all they have to do is connect and you're dead. They serve as a cruel reminder that life isn't fair, and no matter how legendary you might think you are, there's still always a chance of being taken out by a random Ditto using Fissure. Metaphorically, of course. Well, that's it. Hopefully you've learned a thing or two about Stab. And if you see someone asking what Stab is, now you can over-explain it to them like I just did. I'm 31 years old.